Dear Cheri, you touched on this in a previous video, but could you expound more on deep water versus ebb and flow growing, or ask Mitch to? And yes,
Hey, they're
Mitch, they
talking
asked for
about
you
me?
by name. Yes, you have fans.
Oh, that's
Yay.
nice.
Okay, that's a good question. Sure. We'd be happy to expound on that. Before we do, let me just remind everybody to hit that YouTube subscribe button and notification bell because I try to upload new videos every Wednesday. And please hit that like button too if you get value out of our videos. So, this is Mitch Mandel, Cannabis Sherry's grow editor, and we bring him in on the grow questions. So, Mitch, talk a little bit more about ebb and flow versus deep water cultivation. And for those of you who think we're speaking Greek here, what we're talking about is hydroponic cultivation of
Right.
cannabis. So, no soil. We are cultivating the cannabis hydroponically, and there's two main methods of that. So,
Right.
Mitch, take it away.
Well, yeah, ebb and flow and deep water culture are two of the most prominent ways of growing hydroponically. And the deep water culture is really recommended for newbies and people new to growing because there's a lot less work involved. And it works great. I've grown deep water culture many times and haven't found much of a difference between growing deep water culture or growing with ebb and flow. Deep water culture is exactly kind of what it says. Your roots are always submerged in a deep water. Think of like a 5 gallon bucket, and your plant is at the top of the bucket, and all of your roots are down in the bottom in the bucket where the water is.
Okay.
And the water is always there. And the main thing you need to be sure of when you're doing that is you have an air stone in the water in order to oxygenate the roots.
Okay.
And it's really important that your roots get oxygenated. And when they're in water 100% of the time, or in your nutrient solution, really is what you're putting it in, they don't get as much oxygen as they need. So you supplement that with an air stone, and you're good to go. The ebb and flow system is very similar. You can be using 5 gallon buckets, but the water your nutrient solution is in a separate receptacle, and it is pumped into the the grow unit where the plant is, into the bucket where the plant is, and
Mhm.
it fills up the bucket with the water, and it sits there for 5-10 minutes, and then the water is evacuated through a pump and back into your nutrient solution tank. So
Mhm.
and then this is the point where your roots are getting oxygenated because there's no water inside your bucket anymore.
I see.
And so you put that on a timer, and every hour or two you fill it up with your nutrient solution, and then it's the water flows in, and then you let it ebb out. And then later
Okay.
the water flows in and the water ebbs out. It's like a tide. The tide goes
Okay.
in and the tide goes out. It ebbs and flows.
Well,
It's
you
a little
said
more
that
comp
deep water was a lot more easier, so why would somebody want to use the ebb and flow?
Ebb and flow because with deep water, if there's more things that can go wrong quickly. If something goes
Mhm.
wrong, it goes wrong quickly because your water. If you lose your air stone, you're not going to have a good grow. If the water is bad, you won't notice. You'll notice it quickly, but you won't be able to clean your roots if something goes wrong with the water, if your pH is off or something like that. Um, it's a simpler system, but the roots tend to get more oxygen with an ebb and flow system, which is really better.
Mhm.
Uh, but for a beginner, you may not notice the difference, but for a more experienced grower, an ebb and flow, you'll definitely notice a difference with an ebb and flow.
All right, Mitch, thanks for that explanation. That really explained things pretty well, I think, and
Hmm.
we will see you all next time.
Okay, bye bye.